Hello everybody, Mobile Gamers Unite here, FTC compliant vid. We are over in Las Cloudia. Haven't checked up over here in a while. Been busy with Landgrisser, but I figured I would shoot on over here real quick because there's a couple things we should probably talk about. First and foremost, the banner. The banner is up right now. We have, well, there's more than just a banner. There's a couple of them. We get this step up. Gotcha. We're going to talk about this thing. This does give you a ticket on step 1, 3, and 5. Each one of these tickets lets you pick an SSR arc. So this could be an easy way for you to get an arc that you missed before. These are some of the older arcs though. And obviously the newer-ish arcs are going to be on step 5. Like, the foreign land, whatever this one's called, with the cherry blossoms. I think you can only get this off of step 5. So it's quite the investment, okay? But it's nice to see that they're trying to give us some sort of step-up system. Like, okay, alright, something to work with. This is a little bit different. Not unheard of, though, in these gacha games. So at least we're getting some sort of variety. They're trying some different stuff out. The Crystal Gacha is pretty much just business as usual, right? There's a couple arcs here, just a couple of heroes, older heroes, and then we get the Target Pickup Gacha. This is important. This is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. As far as I'm concerned, this is a good banner for new players and for anybody that doesn't have a rogue. Okay, this rogue is a big deal. I will advocate for that. The rogue is huge in this game. You're going to want to farm things, and this rogue is how you're going to do it. He has a chance to steal things when he scores a critical hit. He can potentially score an extra item off of just about every other mob that you fight, as long as you score a ton of critical hits and keep your damage down low so that you can score a bunch of crits before killing your enemy. You have a very high probability of picking up extra items. So to me, this rogue is one of the most useful characters in the game. And then we have Maddy. We have Maddy here. I've been holding off talking about Maddy. I'm sure if you guys have been following my vids, you've heard me mention her before, kind of what I think about her. What's the best way to put this? Let's see. I guess it's kind of like jack of both trades but master of none, unless you're in that 1 percentile where you can really invest into this girl. And let's just start off by talking about that. We're going to talk about Maddy. We're going to get this out of the way, okay? I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Comments are open though, so you guys can weigh in and let me know what you thought. But anyone familiar with my channel knows that I've been doing a bunch of benchmarks to test out different tanks. One of those tanks was Maddy, right? If we look at my units, I did power her up in order to run the tank gauntlet. Where is Maddy? Here she is. We got her all the way up to a whopping level 64, but it was definitely enough to compare her defensive abilities against the other tanks in the game. Blood Rose, even Zuglis ran through the gauntlet. Zuglis smashed it. I can't emphasize that enough. Zuglis just smashes. He is awesome. But we're not talking about Zuglis. We're talking about Steel Wall Maddy. Okay? Maddy. Why did I call it? It's Maddy. Yeah, Steel Wall Maddy. Here's the thing. And I'm going to tell you guys point blank what I think about her. And I'm going to tell you guys how I think they could have really fixed her and made her a lot better of a character all around. The big problem with Maddy is her skill tree. When we look at all of these abilities that she has, it's like you have to choose to go one path or another. She's either going to be an earth mage, but in order to do that, she has to have a spear in her hand. That becomes very hard to do unless you get a special Trust Master just for her. It's a spear with a high magic value on it. The problem with that is In order to grind that thing out, I mean, it's going to have to be a priority for you. I've played this game pretty much since day one. I've only managed to grind out 2 SSR arcs. And I'll be honest with you, the first one was a weapon. I grinded out the Mana Sword. The Mana Sword is a good, safe bet because you can put that weapon on just about anyone. Anyone that uses a sword can use the Mana Sword, and it's probably going to be close to best in slot for them. So it was a safe bet, right? Like, you're getting a very powerful weapon that you can put on multiple units, and you know, it's pliable. You're going to be able to use it all over the game. When you talk about the weapon that Maddy needs in order to be a powerful Earthcaster, she's the only one that's going to be able to use it. Nobody else in this game, no other character that I know of, gives a crap about a spear that's going to give you 100 magic. She's the only one. So you have to invest into that spear to get her, you know, top tier damage for her earth spells. There's just no other way to put it. And then when we get into her skill tree, 2/3 of all these skills involve earth magic and her having a spear in her hand. Judgment Wheel, that's not one of them. We have Earth High Boost. It's going to increase earth magic damage, right? So this is going to help her cast. And then over here, she gets Earth Critical, which is going to help her cast magic spells. Down here, Female Knight, the female Knight's ability, this is one of her tank abilities. This is pretty much the only thing that she has to make her a tank. She's going to get plus 20% defense, and that's only when her MP is reduced to like 10% or something like that. Like, you have to drain all of her magic points to get a measly plus 20% defense. Other than that, she doesn't really have any other tank ability. She's got defense up to, some hit point up to, that's it. Really, she has guard charge, okay, so, and she's going to have guard defense up. That's it. She doesn't even have vigilance in her kit, right? So it's like they give you just enough tank abilities here for you to kind of like start giving your hopes up and wishing and praying on a star that you can make this girl into a badass tank. Because here's my whole thing. You have to go one of two ways. You either build her as a tank and you can use her skill kit, which, disclaimer, this girl has one of the best skill kits in the game. Her S1 through S4, they're amazing. She has amazing crowd control. Yeah, let's kind of dip into all the pros that this girl gets. She has a super fun kit. These abilities are amazing. Spiral Wind, Impact Fall, Judgment Wheel, the Valkyrie Glide, that's pretty cool. It's just a bunch of damage. But Impact Fall, she sucks everybody up into like a little vortex, and then off of that you can use Spiral Wind. That is just awesome. She charges up her little spear and she attacks with it and spins it like a drill, and she pretty much just drills the enemy. It's pretty cool. It can be dodged, but that's why you use Impact Fall first. If you use Impact Fall, nobody's going to be able to dodge Spiral Wind. It works very well. And then she has Judgment Wheel. Judgment Wheel throws everybody up into the air. It's like one of those tornado spells. Very effective. It can toss the whole map. So I could totally see people liking this character because all of these abilities are so awesome. The synergy is great. You got great crowd control. You can move people around. You can get all of them together. Then you can do your little Spiral Wind drill press move and just drill the shit out of all of them. It's really rewarding. It's like lining all your ducks up in a row and taking that big money shot. And that's what makes this character awesome. The problem is all of these abilities are scaling off of her attack, right? And if you want her to be a mage, you have to increase her intelligence and not her attack. So my whole thing is, If I make her into a tank, and I don't worry about casting earth spells, I can make her a tank and use her awesome skill kit to crowd control people, and she can be effective that way. And I tried, guys. I really tried. The problem is the lack of tank abilities that you have here, and the lack of abilities that will actually strengthen her skills. Like 1/3 of her skill tree here is dedicated to increasing her guard abilities just a little bit. I mean, you're pretty much just trying to add anything that you can to that 20%. Everything else, 2/3 of the tree, all of this stuff over here is all going to be related to casting earth magic with a spear in her hand. So if you decide to actually play with this girl's skill kit, then you're automatically throwing away pretty much 2/3 of this skill tree. Okay, and then it becomes super expensive to fill this girl out with a bunch of SC abilities. Like, to actually make her a competent tank, you have to spend so much SC strengthening guard abilities that it's almost not worth it. For other characters that are tanks, it's so much easier because they have so many more abilities in their skill tree that they're going to get for free. She has to compensate so much. It's just not fair. And that is why when I've rated this character, I've pretty much told you guys that yes, she can be a tank, she can be used for that purpose if you don't have anybody else, but as far as the tank tier list goes, she actually ranks towards the very bottom of it, just because, well, pretty much every other character is going to have more defensive abilities for free in this skill tree. So that is my huge issue with Maddy. Now, she can be a great earth mage, like I said, but it takes so much. It takes so much. You have to get that spear for her. And like I said, there's a lot of other SSR arcs that you would much rather get the Trustmaster for. Other than the Mana Sword, the second one I got, I think, was the Pirate Ship. That gives you the Thieves accessory. That gives you an increased chance to steal things. So, if you're just starting out, I would suggest going for that ship first and trying to get an item that will actually increase the amount of treasure that you can get throughout the game. And then maybe go for a weapon that a wide variety of characters can use. Probably something like a sword, okay? Spears, like I said, she's going to be the only one that can use her spear. So that becomes the problem, right? I don't think that this girl's ability tree is balanced at all. My one suggestion, how I think they could have handled this better, and leave me a comment, let me know if you think I'm absolutely crazy. If you agree with me, make sure to give me a like. But here's my suggestion. I think what they could have done with this girl is, where is it? Okay, this Earth Critical ability right here. Earth magic attacks have a chance of dealing critical damage. I think instead of Earth Critical, which only affects her magic abilities, I think instead of this, they should have just given her Earth Attack Rise. The one that just increases your Earth damage, because that could have strengthened her skill kit, her S1 through S4. And that could have made her, and in fact, that would have strengthened both of her kits, right? Because even if you're using her as a mage, you can still use your skills and bank off of some of that damage. In fact, you're going to use those skills to crowd control people. So I think Earth Attack Rise would have been a lot better than Earth Critical. You can always pick up Earth Critical just by spending a few SC if you really wanted to go like the whole mage way. But putting Earth Attack Rise on this girl is going to cost like 11 or 12 SC, and I honestly think that without that, it's not worth running her as her tank class. Like I said, she's great at both, but she's master of none, right? But at the same time, if this is one of your starting characters, yeah, she can definitely tank enough for you to get by, and then you can always have her switch roles, and she can be, an earth damager. Here's the other thing too. I think that's kind of really where she's supposed to shine. She's supposed to be a source of earth damage. If you look at the characters that we have, other than Davin, who is a limited character, there aren't really many characters out yet that specialize in dealing earth damage. So this girl might still be nifty for maybe a special boss fight where the boss is just really weak to earth, you know. That's kind of the way that I see Maddy, right? Because between her and Davin, those are the two main earth damage dealers, other than just some random mage that is going to be able to get some earth spells. So that is my my whole opinion on Maddy, and I have played her. I have leveled her up. I do love her skill kit dearly. It's awesome. The crowd control is great, but at the end of the day, if I need to throw somebody in for earth damage, I have Davin, and this guy is just a monster. As awesome as her crowd control is and everything, swinging Davin's axe is just more awesome to me. I mean, that thing really connects. There's real impact there. This guy can swing his axe and just pretty much take out everybody around him. There's just something satisfying about it. And yeah, of course, he's a limited character. They're gonna give him a little bit more oomph. He's easier to build too, right? You just pretty much any type of earth axe, anything. He doesn't require a weapon specially for him. I do have his special earth weapon, but we got options here. Like, this guy can equip tons of different stuff. Maddy has to use that one spear, or she's not gonna. In fact, look, this guy can even use the mana sword, right? I can give Davin the mana sword, and he's still gonna be doing earth damage with his skill kit. So, oh, that's right, I have dual wield on him. Just got that unlocked, right? So he's not even wearing armor right now. So, yeah, I took his second weapon off because obviously I was benchmarking tanks. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. As far as this banner goes, if you're a new player and you just happen to be tuning in, I would say that this banner is worth pulling on for the rogue, right? If you get Maddy along the way, you can use her as a tank to get you by, and then you can always transition her to an earth damage dealer later on. But to get the max out of her, you are going to be spending a pretty penny. It's just going to be a lot of time, a lot of investment. But hey, she does have an amazing kit with great crowd control. But I think the diamond in the rough here is the rogue. The rogue is what you want, especially if you're a new player. All right, I think we've covered that. Oh, there's another thing too. This is important right here. So it's important to note that Zuglis was on a limited banner, and the only way to get Zuglis, just like Davin, is you had to pull him off the limited banner. Your boy got lucky as hell. He came down the very first pull, but the SSR arc that was on Davin's banner with him, you can get that by doing gotcha pulls. In fact, let's see. So his arc is not limited. The arc is out there. I believe it's right here. Yeah, Divine Beast. Yeah, the Divine Beast arc is right here. So you can get it just from throwing tickets. And that's why from here on out, I'm going to be picking up these red tickets to pick up arcs instead of units. This is just something that I've recently come to a decision about. Because the fact is, if a limited unit drops on a banner, and here we might as well do a pull, but if a limited unit drops on a banner, you're not going to be able to use your red tickets to get that unit, right? You're going to have to pull on that banner to get that limited character, but the SSR arc that drops with that limited character on that limited banner, that arc's going to be added to our pool. So at least I can use some of these red tickets to pick up the SSR arcs that I'm not able to get by pulling for these heroes. So that's what I'm going to be doing. From here on out, like, I'll show you guys. I feel like this ticket that I picked up is kind of a waste. It's a unit only gacha ticket. I could have gotten an SSR ARC ticket instead, and that's what I should have done. That's my personal advice to you, because the limited characters tend to be more powerful. So if you're going to have to drop Lapis to pull anything, it's going to be the limited characters. And then after that, I'm going to try to go back through and maybe get some of those arcs that were on the limited banners with any of these tickets that I can get. So that's just a personal strategy. That's what your boy's doing. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your strategy is, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So I figured I would just, kind of share that with you guys and pass that along. That's just my personal strategy. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what's going on in Last Cloudia. And I've been logging in here, just kind of keeping up on stuff. I did start doing Apex Arena PvP over in Landgrisser, so I've been kind of busy with that. But this is what I love about Last Cloudia. It's kind of an easy grind for me. I pretty much just log in here and there. I pick up my energy, and I make sure to burn through my event orbs and stuff like that. And the game keeps progressing just fine. I have heard of some people complaining that they don't feel like there's enough content. I could maybe see that if this was like my main game and this was the only game that I played, but I don't have that problem, obviously, because I'm playing other games too. That's just how I feel about it. I've seen a lot of people talking about, well, people are not logging in on my friends list, but you know what? I've also noticed that I'm getting friend requests from new people as well. So people quit playing games all the time. It's not just this game, it's other games too. But then there's always new people that show up. So go through your friends list, recycle any old players that don't play anymore. You will get some friend requests from some new players. So this game is on and popping, I will say that, and I have a lot of fun with it. So like I said, comments are open. Let me know what you think. Everything is IMO. I don't need to get crucified over anything I said about Maddie. And I will say this: she's still a great character, but I just kind of want people to know the investment that comes with, the ownership of having a Maddie. There's definitely a maintenance upkeep cost. You're gonna have to spend. You're gonna have to get that spear. You're gonna have to grind a bunch of stuff out. You're gonna have to put a ton of abilities on her, and you're always gonna be short on SC. You're never ever gonna have room, and that's just my personal experience with her, right? So, Mobile Gamers Unite. Everybody have an awesome day, and remember, keep the peace, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the peace.